This is Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
You're watching Football Friday on Dakota News Now!
Thanks to the winter cheerleaders, as usual, they had plenty to cheer about. Welcome to the first Football Friday of October, and I am not Mark Ovenden, if you can't tell. The boss is away. I'm Zach Borg, and that's Cooper Seamer.
That's right, along with 13 games from South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. We also have the conclusion of state tennis today. So let's get right into things here. We'll start our coverage with a heavyweight battle in AAA football. Top-ranked Lincoln putting their perfect record on the line at Brandon Valley. The Patriots had their offense rhythm going early. Tate Schaefer fires to Jack Smith. He breaks a tackle, and he's off to the races for 6 to start this game. And there's getting going here. A quick 3 and out on defense, and Lincoln has the ball again. Schaefer again. If it worked before, let's do it again. Finds Smith. He's in the touchdown. He's in for the touchdown. The Patriots lead 21-0 after 1 quarter. Now Brandon Valley would get on the board eventually. Levi Veskerna takes this dive call, falls in. The Lynx are on the board, but the Patriots are too much on offense. Schaefer again finding his favorite target, Smith, making a spectacular one-handed catch. He had 5 touchdowns. That breaks a Class AAA record. Lincoln wins 55-13.
In Sioux Falls, third-ranked Jefferson Cavaliers looking to bounce back from last week's O'Gorman loss against Rapid City Stevens. Cavs only up 7-0 at halftime. 3rd and long in the third. Thomas Heiberger in at quarterback. Finds Edward Whiting on a swing pass. It'll get a big gain down into Stevens territory. A few plays later, Dawson Sexer takes the direct snap and barrels in for a 2-yard touchdown. That makes it 14-0. Got to give the kids from Stevens credit. They certainly gave Jefferson all they could handle after making a long trip. John Paul Sullivan rolling out, looking for something. Austin Miller says, "You got nothing," and they do not got a win. They didn't get points either. Jefferson takes this one 14-0.
The 4th-ranked team in 11 AAA, Harrisburg, making the trip out west. They face Rapid City Central. Second quarter here, Sam Knuth looking to air it out, finds Titan Tryon. Why not? Taking the long shot, makes the catch, breaks away from the tackler. 52 yards for the touchdown. That's going to make it 40-0. And they weren't done. Max Carlson fields this punt around midfield. He breaks free, loses a couple tacklers, and he's brought down finally at the 3-yard line. But that's just going to set up another opportunity for them to score. Carlson takes the direct snap. He powers his way in for the touchdown. Harrisburg led 48-0 at the half, and they go on to win 75-7. We take a look at some of the other scores here. Again, Lincoln winning, Jefferson taking the win, Harrisburg taking the win, and O'Gorman, that was last night's score over Washington.
And in 11 AA tonight, Pierre defeats Huron 35-0. T-Big at Spearfish. Aberdeen, close one in Brookings, but they get a shutout. Yankton over 11 AAA Roosevelt down in Yankton. And Watertown with a big win over Mitchell. Coming up next on Football Friday, 2 of the best programs in South Dakota high school history collide in Hartford. Winner at West Central, and the rest of 11-man when we return.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
And we are back when we get a rare matchup between 2 of the winningest programs in South Dakota high school history tonight.
Yeah, though the Winter Warriors and West Central Trojans have won 21 combined state championships, they each finished as runner-up last year, so you know they're pretty salty coming into this one. And oh, by the way, West Central won that game 46-12 a year ago. Winter won that 46-12. Both teams hoping to finish on top. Warriors ranked number 1, Trojans number 2. Second play of the game, big run for Jesse Jost. However, Zach Olson jars the ball free, and Stratton Moorhart falls on it for the takeaway. Methodically marching down goes Winter, and Moorhart finishes with the Philadelphia Eagles tush-push winter version. 8-0 Warriors on top. West Central not giving up on the ground game. Aiden Bartman, nice cutback and big gain into Winter territory. Yet every time they got in on the Trojans, Winter would snuff him out. Caden Elfson running for his life, and Aiden Barfus. Heck of a sack there. That forces a punt. Now, Winter took over with a minute left in the first quarter. They hold the ball for 11 minutes, capping it with a Barfus touchdown, 14-0 at half. Typical Winter. They add 14 more in the second half and win 28-0.
Well, after starting 0-2, Sioux Falls Christian is up to number 4 in 11A and a victory at Beresford. That'd be their 5th straight in the first quarter here. Beresford driving, but the ball is fumbled. Chargers defense gets a big play here. Caden Van Otterloo recovers that ball, and Sioux Falls Christian gets good field position. And that's going to lead to this next play here. Braden Whitty is going to take the handoff. He's going to find his dive right into the end zone, and that's a touchdown. That gives Sioux Falls Christian the 7-0 lead. Moving into the second quarter now, the Chargers may as well go back to Braden Whitty again, and this time he's going to take the pitch, and he finds the end zone. It's another Chargers touchdown, and they do get that 5th straight win, winning 34-7. Meanwhile, up in Lennox, the 5th-ranked Orioles looking to reach 6-1 with the win over Madison, and Madison leading at halftime here. It's 14-8. It was a very defensive battle here the entire second half. Lucas Bonte with the big interception here for Lennox, just like he did almost last week. Another big interception. Great stop for the Orioles. Later in the third, Madison setting up for a field goal, but they're going to go for it. It's a fake, and it's picked off by Lennox's Dominic DeBoer in the end zone right there. That's going to give the Orioles the ball back, but later in the fourth quarter, it's the same score still. Lennox trying to tie things up. The Bulldogs, though, trying to put the pressure on. Get the sack here. Braxton Bjorkland and Thomas Meckles. Huge stop for Madison, and that is a big win for the Bulldogs, winning 14-8, their first of the year.
Taking a look at the rest of the scores in 11A, Del Rapids, no problem at Chamberlain. Canton, big over Vermilion at home. And then, again, you see your scores from Winter, West Central, Sioux Falls Christian, and Lennox. Tri-Valley's been knocking on the door of a ranking in 11B. They could bust it down with a homecoming win over defending state champ Elk Point-Jefferson. They led 14-0 at half. Game changes, and watch this. I'm slowing it down because you see the Huskies completely fool Tri-Valley. Jacob Gale slipping a reverse handoff to Garrett Merkley. That's why nobody was in his area code, and I got fooled. It was a 70-yard touchdown. Huskies get the 2 and trail 14-8. Tri-Valley trying to respond. Brody Dibvig, who had a big touchdown run in the first half with some tough, hard yards running up the middle, getting them into Husky territory. However, a few plays later, Eli McFarland getting chased, floats one up that's tipped and picked off by Gale himself. EPJ takes over, marches down the field, and they go ahead when Gunnar Ewing would not be denied the touchdown. They score all 24 of their points in the second half and win 24-14. What a win for them in a comeback fashion. Now in the rest of 11B, Sioux Valley and Dual were both off. Hot Springs with a 10-point win over Rapid City Christian. Up next, we'll check in on 9-man and head across the border to Minnesota, where longtime rivals Pipestone and Luverne were battling for the axe. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
As we return, we take a look at a team in 9AA that could be a real sleeper come postseason.
Yeah, the Hanson Beavers are 4-2 with their lone defeats to the top 2 teams in the class, and they're the only team to play number 1 Parkston close in a 16-6 loss. The Beavers looking to win their 5th game and spoil Viborg-Hurley's homecoming first quarter here after a Hanson interception. Brock Tuttle is going to be the one to keep the ball here.
Big fella.
Stiff arms a tackler. He's going to take it 32 yards to the house. It's 8-0 Hanson here early on.
Run.
Later on, Hanson Sutton DeWald is going to get it on the reverse, takes it up the field, and he is gone. 40 yards for the touchdown. That makes it now 16-0 Beavers. Still in the first here, Hanson's quarterback, Jay Slava, finding Tuttle here on a screen, and he just mows down defenders left
Why
and
would you want to
right.
get in his way?
I wouldn't want to get in his way, that's for sure. A 43-yard touchdown. Hanson taking a big win, 62-18.
9B's 5th-ranked 4-2 Corsica-Stickney Jaguars pulling into Marion to take on the 5-1 Phoenix of Freeman-Marion-Freeman Academy. Pick it up in the third quarter. Carter Wright up the middle. Looks like he is going to go all the way, and he is tripped up at the 1-yard line for a 57-yard gain. They would punch it in on the next play. It was 14-0 Jaguars. Later in the third, Freeman hands the ball to Dominic Sperling. He gets to the corner, and he gets loose. 35-yard touchdown. Phoenix now down 14-6. Good one late in the fourth now. Last chance for Phoenix QB Carter Weber. Rolls out, can't find anyone, still looking, guns it to Sterling for the touchdown in the end zone. It's 14-12 now. They got to go for 2 in the tie. They roll out. There is just nowhere to go. Great defense by Corsica-Stickney, and they hang on to win this one 14-12. What a great defensive stand there at the end. Let's take a look at the rest of 9AA's scores. Parkston, no one's played with them all year, and that's pretty much the same thing. 50-0. Elkton Lake Benton also with a shutout. and Wall has just knocked off Kimball Lake. No score yet for that Hamlin Great Plains game. That is tomorrow, and Howard is off.
And we move over to 9A. Warner taking the 46-0 win over Lyon Hendricks. Phillip getting the job done against Newell. Harding County Bison taking that big win, and Canastota and Alcester Hudson are also off.
All right, across. Oh, and we actually have 9B scores. Almost forgot that one. DeSmet takes out Hitchcock-Tulare. That was a big game, and DeSmet with a big statement, 46-0. There's the Corsica-Stickney scoring again. Avon and Faulkton are off. Now across the border in Minnesota, one of the best rivalries in the region between Luverne and Pipestone adds a new chapter, and we sent Cordell Wright to find out who would take home the Battle Axe.
Well, Zach, the two rivals are separated by just 34 miles on Highway 74. In total, they've played for the Battle Axe 65 total times, with Luverne holding the edge 36-29. First half, scoreless game. Carter Sierra, he rolls right, slings it. It's picked off, though, by Landon Quist for Pipestone. Chain Gang didn't have much work to do this game because our first points didn't come until the fourth. The Arrows finally worked in the field goal range, take the 3-0 lead, which of course fired up the fan section. The score would stay that way. Last chance for Luverne. Sear keeps it himself, but it comes up short. And the Battle Axe will head to Pipestone this year as they hold on with a 3-0 victory.
Thank you, Cordell, and thanks for staying to the fourth
Kicking
quarter.
matters. Kicking matters.
Yeah, kickers matter, people. Another good rivalry game in Minnesota. Unbeaten Hills-Beaver Creek visiting fellow unbeaten Edgerton. Dutchman starting off strong. Keaton Arp picking up an interception to turn things the other way. However, Hills-Beaver Creek comes right back with a short pass on their next possession to Sawyer Bosch. He runs it in for the 15-yard score, and the Patriots would keep it up from there. Looking really impressive on the road. 20-yard pass this time from Jamin Metzger to Micah Bush in the end zone. Great catch. He would get the 2-point conversion as well. And Hills-Beaver Creek wins a good one, 26-14. Let's take a look at a few more scores from Minnesota. Marshall over Fairmont. Worthington gets the win over Albert Lee, their first win. Wyndham big. Jackson County Central big as well. Rolling on, Minneota with a huge win. Adrian Ellsworth shuts out RTR. Red Rock Central over Heron Lake, Okabena Fulda. Tracy Milroy Balaton 69-0. And Dawson Boyd with a 7-point win over Canby. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with a look at Football Friday in Northwest Iowa, plus highlights from the championships, the girls' state AA tennis tournament.
Welcome back to Football Friday, sponsored by Trusted Choice, Dakota Bank, South Dakota Department of Health, and South Dakota State University.
Well, welcome back to our final segment. We head to Iowa, where only 3 classes are unbeaten in Class 2A. 3 teams, excuse me.
And a pair of them hail from Northwest Iowa. They're the pair you're probably thinking of. They're only 15 miles apart. Both Central Lyon and West Lyon looking to get to 7-0 tonight. The Wildcats back home at J. Rosenblum Complex with Sheldon coming to town. It was the visitors who grabbed the early momentum. As Bryson Childress keeps it, gets nailed by Sheldon's Zach Brinkman. Ball comes free, and Landon Seatstra recovers the O-Rabs. Interesting nickname. Get the first down. Sheldon would drive all the way to the West Lyon 6 on 4th down. They go for it, and the Wildcat defense comes through, batting the pass in the air by Bryce Koch and picking it off. That's Tate Hoff with a huge interception. That turns the game around. West Lyon taking control from there. There's a touchdown from Jackson Heiser as he goes 46 yards, almost untouched. Student section was loving that, and they had even more to love. Defense making another stop here. Sweep going nowhere in the open field to Carson Meyer getting the tackle as West Lyon continues to roll. They dominated the second half and win 35-7.
Central Lyon with a tougher assignment as they travel to Hull to take on 5-1 Western Christian. First drive of the third quarter here, Reese Vanderzee looking back, zips one's out to Reed Folkens, and he barrels his way into the end zone there. That's a score. And just a few plays later, number 53 Nolan Baker here clears a lane for Vanderzee. He goes untouched. It's 42-0 Lions. Wolfpack playing hard here to the very end. Caden Van Regenmorter here goes onto the flat, finds Colby Heemsker, and he puts Western Christian on the board. That'd be it for scoring though in this one. Central Lyon improves to 7-0 with a 42-7 win.
And the Beef Bowl in 2 weeks is going to be really fun.
Absolutely. West Sioux taking the win. Cherokee taking the win over Unity Christian. Spirit Lake and Bishop Healing taking the wins as well. Move on to the second page here now as Sioux Center takes the win over MOC Floyd Valley and Lamar's wins over Fort Dodge.